What if the most profitable money advice was deleted from modern finance and hidden in plain sight for 2,000 years? And what if the people who knew it best were philosophers, not influencers, quietly using it to build freedom that outlasts bull markets, bubbles, and hype? I am Saul. Today I am revealing the lost Stoic wealth wisdom modern gurus ignore. The ideas that do not trend on social media because they work too slowly and too reliably to go viral. Stay with me, because a little later I will give you a 1-minute Stoic wealth audit you can run tonight to spot the leaks that are keeping you from compounding. Here is the first forgotten principle: usefulness beats display. Marcus Aurelius kept reminding himself to love what is real and functional over what is decorative. Translate that into money. Do your purchases and investments serve a purpose when nobody sees them, or do they only signal success? A camera that earns income passes the Stoic test. A status gadget that makes you feel important for a week fails it. Ask this fast question before any spend: if this were invisible to everyone, would I still want it? You will be surprised how many so-called smart buys vanish under that light. But here is the twist: the Stoics were not preaching poverty. Seneca wrote about owning wealth without being owned by it. Modern gurus talk about upgrading your lifestyle. Stoics talk about upgrading your standards. Your standard might be a quiet home that protects sleep, a good chair for deep work, a high-quality learning course that compounds your earning power. When usefulness becomes the filter, your money shifts from noise to signal, and your anxiety drops because your possessions finally have a job. Second principle: build a moral margin of safety. Investors talk about a financial buffer. The Stoics taught a personal version long before spreadsheets. They rehearsed setbacks in their minds so they could respond without panic when reality bit. In money terms, this means designing for resilience before you design for returns. A boring emergency fund is a Stoic move. So is keeping debt light enough that you can breathe if income dips. The rule is simple: first survive, then optimize. Modern advice often flips that. It chases a hot percentage and hopes nothing breaks. Stoicism flips it back. Remove fragility first, and gains arrive without drama. Quick test. If your main income stopped for 3 months, what exact bills keep the lights on? And what would you cut in the first week? Write it now, not during the storm. That single page can save you more money than a year of tips, because it converts fear into a plan. Third principle: slow decisions, fast execution. Epictetus warned students about first impressions and told them to pause before judging. In wealth building, that means you take time to choose your system. Then you run it without constant tinkering. Slow choice, fast cadence. For example, choose a simple investing rule set you actually understand, automate contributions, and stop doom scrolling price charts. Choose one income skill to deepen for the next quarter. Then protect a daily time block to practice. The pause is before the commitment, not after it. But there is a deeper layer that almost nobody talks about: time arbitrage. Most people overvalue the present headline and undervalue quiet compounding. Stoicism trains you to lengthen your time horizon on purpose. When you think in decades, you stop asking what will make me look rich and start asking what will keep paying me while I sleep, move, or rest. That one shift rewrites your calendar, your reading list, and your shopping list. It also rewires your stress response, because you are no longer gambling your mood on daily fluctuations. Let me ground this with a real scenario. A friend kept chasing crowded side hustles because they promised fast money. He switched to the Stoic filter. He listed skills that would still be valuable in 10 years, picked one and built a tiny daily practice around it. 3 months later, the first paying client appeared. 6 months later, the work replaced the side hustle chaos. Nothing flashy, just usefulness, margin of safety, and slow decision, fast execution. In a moment, I will share the 1-minute Stoic wealth audit you can run tonight, plus 2 micro routines that harden your discipline without feeling like punishment. And there is a final lost principle that modern gurus almost never teach, even though it is the key to staying rich once you get rich. Keep listening, because that last idea closes every leak you cannot see yet. Here is the 1-minute Stoic wealth audit I promised. Set a timer for 60 seconds. Take your last 7 days of purchases and draw 4 boxes: essential, useful, decorative, draining. Essential keeps you safe and functional. Useful earns or saves money or raises capacity to earn. Decorative looks good but does not change outcomes. Draining adds cost without value, including silent subscriptions and daily leaks. Give each item one verb: cut, cap, keep, or compound. Cut means cancel or return. Cap means set a hard ceiling for next month. Keep means it serves a clear purpose. Compound means redirect more money toward it because it increases future income or reduces risk. Finish by choosing 1 cut and 1 compound you will execute within 24 hours. Now for 2 micro routines that build discipline without punishment. First, the 3-touch rule. Any new purchase must be used 3 times within the first 72 hours. If you cannot give it 3 intentional uses, it goes back, gets listed for sale, or becomes a gift. It turns maybe buys into tools and vaporizes status clutter before it colonizes your space. Second, the red light list. Each evening clear shopping carts and wish lists. Move anything tempting onto a 30-day list with a date stamp and a reason to buy. If you still want it after 30 days and it passes the usefulness test, proceed. If not, delete it and bank the difference. There is a lost principle modern money culture rarely teaches because it is not flashy. Keep wealth by protecting who you are. Seneca warned that wealth should be your servant, not your master. Build guardrails around your identity before your balance grows. Write an enough statement in 1 sentence that describes the life you are building and the few standards that define it. Then, list 3 non-negotiables you will not trade for money, such as sleep, integrity, and time with the people you love. When offers appear, measure them against the guardrails first and the numbers second. If the price of $1 includes breaking your standards, it is too expensive. Defend gains once they begin. Create a maintenance budget beside your growth budget. The growth budget funds investments and skill building. The maintenance budget funds the boring things that prevent entropy. Backups and insurance, dental care, cloud storage, device replacement cycles, continuing education. Most people cut maintenance because it does not produce headlines. Stoic thinkers fund it first to remove fragile points that could erase a year of progress in 1 bad week. Here is a compact weekly cadence that ties everything together. On Friday evening, run the audit and attach each cut, cap, keep, or compound to a calendar block. On Saturday morning, spend 90 minutes on 1 capacity project that will still matter in 10 years, like mastering a core tool or building a decision checklist. On Sunday, rewrite your enough statement if it drifted. Then schedule 2 sessions of voluntary simplicity for the coming week. 1 no-spend day and one deliberate low comfort block. One more tactic that turns setbacks into assets. Run a premortem before any major financial choice. Ask, if this fails 1 year from now, what would the story be? List the 5 most likely causes and design one preventative step for each. If one cause still scares you after the fix, shrink the bet until your stomach is quiet. Stoicism does not remove risk, it right-sizes it. A short story and a challenge. A client loved new tech and felt permanently broke despite a solid income. He tried the 3-touch rule and the red light list for 1 month. He returned 2 devices, cancelled 4 small subscriptions he had stopped noticing, and redirected the freebie cash into a course that raised his freelance rate within a quarter. Nothing magical happened. He stopped paying for the feeling of progress and started paying for actual progress. Now it is your turn. For the next 7 days, run the audit and the 2 micro routines. At the end of the week, notice how your anxiety falls as your control rises. In our next conversation, we will map a Stoic investing filter that pairs with these habits so your money and your mind compound together.